this is what this stuff looks like inside of us. And whether it ruptures or it bleeds or it leaks, this is what's happening inside of all of us. Looks like kind of a nightmare, right? This is all of it. So as you guys may have read, there's an article I wrote called 33 Reasons Not to Get Breast Implants Your Doctor Didn't Warn You About. And I put 33 different pieces of information in there as far as like the science and a lot of the statistics, and it will blow your mind. It took me about a year to put together that one article. Every single one of us who has breast implants, saline or silicone, they all bleed. Good evening, beautiful breasties. Diane here, your co-host and co-leader with Sarah Filippi in this group. I just wanted to share with you guys something that is pretty gross, and the reason why we struggle so much and we're so sick. So if you guys haven't met me before, hi, I'm somewhat new to this group. I've been in here for a few months, but Sarah and I have done several videos. The one that you see to the very top is pinned, me and Sarah talking all about breast implant illness and many, many things that we need to do and many of the myths that are out there, as well as the announcement section. There's another one up there too, which is why have I explanted and I still don't feel awesome. So as you guys are tuning in, say hi, what's up? Let us know, let me know where you guys are tuning in from, where you are along your explant journey, and what kind of things that you're working on for yourself right now. So so you guys know my story. I'm 6 weeks post-explant and I'm loving on my new little boobies. I went from 500 cc's, boom, to about, I don't know, maybe a small C, large B. So these are not my exact breast implants because my dog ate my other ones. I'm going to show them to you right now. But I just want to bring a couple of things on the radar here because there's a lot of women asking very similar questions in here. And I just wanted you guys to see the insides of what these things look like. And also, if you are going to explant, what to talk to your doctor about, as well as some detox stuff. So let's get into it. This is just going to be a short one, maybe like 10 minutes or so. But this is something that I'm not sure if I shared this on the one that me and Sarah did as announcements, but this is just going to be a quick little clip. So if you guys can see right here, this is a bag that my implants came in. And a lot of us are like wondering, you know, what is this material? So my dog actually punctured my breast implant. And it's kind of funny. I'm actually happy that she did because now I can show you this, which is like the visual of this is what this stuff looks like inside of us. And whether it ruptures or it bleeds or it leaks, this is what's happening inside of all of us. Looks like kind of a nightmare, right? This is all of it. So as you guys may have read, there's an article I wrote called 33 Reasons Not to Get Breast Implants Your Doctor Didn't Warn You About. And I put 33 different pieces of information in there as far as like the science and a lot of the statistics, and it will blow your mind. It took me about a year to put together that one article. So if you guys, I'll link this in the little section in the subject later on, but that's just so you know, every single one of us who has breast implants, saline or silicone, they all bleed. They all bleed. And we all have a capsule that forms around the implant that if you're working with a doctor to get them removed, you want to make sure, of course, they remove the capsule as well, because it has, now they've been finding it has 10 bacteria in between the capsule and that shell. So that's why so many of us are so sick. And also that's why so many of us, when we get our implants out, we still have to work on gut healing. So that's one reason. The other reason is that this is bleeding all into our lymph nodes. It's unknown whether or not we can even get this stuff out of our system. There's no studies on this. We are the lab rats, as you guys know. We are the research. So this is what I just want to let you know. This stuff is really hard to get off of your fingers too, by the way. How many of you guys have actually looked down and looked back when you go to the bathroom? So I don't know about you guys, but you know, as a health practitioner myself, looking at labs and looking for reasons behind why I may have like parasites turn up on labs, I'm looking to see if the detox protocol and the gut healing protocol that I'm working on is working. So I look back and I see if there's like worms or whatever in there. And what I've seen in the last like 5 years is stuff that looks like this in my stool. So I have always thought this was like maybe a parasite or biofilm or a rope worm, as we call it in functional medicine. But now that I'm looking at this, the last few stools I saw before I removed my breast implants look just like this. And I have videos to prove it. I'm going to put it in the documentary that I'll be sharing sometime next year. But this is what is leaking through our body. This stuff takes forever to get off of my hands. It just has this residue, and it's just a slimy residue. So what happens is this lines coats the lining of your intestines, which makes it difficult for your body to actually absorb nutrients in the small intestine. That's the role of the small intestine, is there's little like villi things. And the goal of these little villi, microvilli, is to absorb nutrients from the foods that you're consuming, from the supplements that you're taking. And as long as this is coating those microvilli, there is no nutrients that are going to get into your body. And so no wonder why we're so tired. No wonder why we're depressed and hormone, vitamin D deficient. And also this coats the cells, the lining of the cells where your hormones are supposed to get in. So the hormone receptor sites, imagine if this is covering it like a big, it looks like Ghostbusters, right? And this like slime is just covering the cell. So no matter what kind of bioidenticals you're taking, no matter what kind of hormones that you're taking, hormone replacement therapy, no matter how like amazing hormones that your body is producing, which most of us with breast implant illness are not, these hormones are trying to get into the cells, which is the only way that your body can actually feel the effect of hormones, right? So it doesn't matter what you're producing or what you're taking. If hormones can't get in the receptor sites because this is covering it, no amount of any kind of anything is going to work. So wherever you are in your journey, we have this all throughout our body. We can't know. It's on varying scales, right? But we got to cleanse this stuff out. And it's, again, unknown how long it takes to get out of the body. But this is made of 30 plus heavy metals, plastic, silicone, and all kinds of polymers and preservatives and colors. So it's disgusting. We have to get this out of our body. And a lot of people are doing things like, spirulina and chlorella and cilantro. But these things are not strong enough bonds to bind to the heavy metals. As you can see, it needs to be very strong. If it's not strong enough to cling onto it and get it out of the body. So we want you to know that with like detoxification. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Christina. Good to see you, sisters. I'm just talking about our breast implants, which this is the stuff that's traveling all throughout our body. So also this is stuff is going into your brain. So it's no wonder why we have like brain fog and we can't think, we can't formulate a thought, we have insomnia. Insomnia is primarily due to not having enough melatonin, which again, hormones need to get into the cell in order to work, and melatonin is a hormone that can't get into the cell for you to fall asleep and have restful sleep, and human growth hormone and all kinds of things. So this is in all of us. Now, I'm gonna put this back down on the implant. It's pretty gross. Thank God my dog ate my breast implants or punctured a hole in them. So that is everywhere. Depending on how long you've had the implants, it could be deep into your lymph nodes. It could be at some point causing lupus or MS or Hashimoto's. Sarah and I in our practice, we have got one woman right now who got lupus after her breast implants ruptured, the year after her breast implants ruptured. And so no matter what kind of like thyroid replacement therapy, if we've got this still traveling throughout the body, even the best of like, Synthroid, we're not such a big fan of, but things that are more like T3, Naturothroid, Armor, these things can't get into it as long as we're this toxic. So it takes working really, really well deep into detoxification and looking at the plastics and the silicones and the heavy metals and the bugs, the gut bugs. So let me just tell you something else. This is a crazy story, and then I'm going to end on that. So now I talked about why we need to balance our hormones, right? And hormones can't get in as long as the sludge is covering up the cells where your hormones and nutrients would get in, right? And small intestine where your nutrients would get into the microvilli. And this is why so many of us have leaky gut and stuff, right? So let's talk about the gut real quick, because we have one woman who came into our program, I think from this group, and she has been doing a lot of the things that we've been recommending to her. And she's like, I have felt insanely crazy in my mind. Like my mood has not been right. I just know that there's something that's been wrong. I feel like I've been irritable and anxious and depressed all at the same time. Not everybody's going to feel the same way, right? But she was like, she was shaming herself. Like she was feeling guilty and she was living in fear, and she thought that there was nothing that she could do to get out of it. She's tried all kinds of therapy. So what if the mindset that we have is due to what's going on in our gut? So this is what happened. So we had her on a protocol, and within 3 weeks of working with us, she pooped out a whole jar of parasites. We haven't even seen her stool test yet. We do functional medicine testing that's like much different than what you would get if you went to your primary care doctor and said, hey, let's check my stool for bugs. We actually look at inflammation, gut bugs, infections, imbalances. We look to see also what kind of things that your body might be resistant to in terms of the protocol, because like what good is it giving stuff if it's not going to even work and make the bug smarter, right? So I found out I had parasites on my stool test. We don't even know it yet, but she found all kinds of parasites. Now the purpose of these parasites, because you're thinking, oh, did she get it from traveling? Most likely no. I don't even know if she's been out of the country. But these parasites, our body actually recruits intentionally. So these things are not here to hurt you. And all these symptoms are not here because your body hates you, it's because your body loves you. So these parasites, the intention of them is to mop up heavy metals. And what happens is they're here to save us, because those heavy metals, if they get into our brain, if they get into our tissues, if they get into our heart and our organs, they actually can cause far more damage than if these parasites ate them. So they're safer in the parasites. And then also a lot of these chemicals, toxins, your body will harbor into your fat cells. This is why it's so hard to lose weight, right? So parasites, candida is there to buffer your body so that the heavy metals don't get, again, deeply lodged into the tissues. So candida is there for a reason. So we cannot just get rid of the candida and the parasites and all the things without asking the question, did we clear the toxins that these bugs are trying to protect us from, as well as the metals? So when we go in here and start cleaning out like metals, the metals are primarily in parasites. So we have to go after a heavy metal cleanse. We got to go after the parasites. We have to go after the candida, as well as make sure that your body is binding to a lot of these waste products that when we swing the bat at candida and parasites, what happens is it's like a, what do you call it? What do you call it? Those Mexican things you hit a bat. It's like a piñata, and like stuff flies everywhere. So we gotta get binders so when the things are flying everywhere, your body has those binders to mop up the mess and carry them out of the body. So it's like a whole ecosystem, right? So there's a whole dynamic of things that are happening. And it's really important that whatever practitioner you guys work with, whatever doctor that you guys see, is covering all these things: your hormone, your gut, mopping up the mess, the metals, and then also considering your brain, because we have so many women that neurotransmitter balances and dysfunction. So you got to look at your brain too, which is what we do, and your genetics. So all of that being said, is wherever you are in your journey, before or after, please reach out to Sarah or myself and ask questions, because there's a lot of myths out there. There's a lot of people just not doing this right, not taking care of you. What you guys deserve. And I'll say this last thing: I got my report back, and make sure everybody who's having their breast implants removed, you guys get this. You guys get the report of, first of all, looking for BIA, ALCL, and also the pathology report to see what kind of bugs turned up for you guys. Mine, there are 10, like I said, in all of us that they found bacteria in between the implant and the capsule. Mine, one of the ones that they found was actually one that causes acne, cystic acne. So a lot of women with breast implants, as long as that bug is in between the breast implant as well and the capsule, you're going to have acne and skin issues and rashes all over the place until we remove the implant. So we have to go after those bugs after. So that's it for now, ladies. I hope you enjoyed this toxic slime sludge crap that I just showed you that looks like Ghostbusters. It's living up inside of our grill. Terrible, awful. And can you believe that this is the size that I had to meet? Oh my God. Oh my God. Anybody have any questions, make sure you comment below. And if you guys have sisters in this group, make sure to tag them as well if this can help them. I'll be in here next week. Sarah will be coming on too, popping in for little short clips like this. But this is pretty jam-packed. I talked about a lot of stuff. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Bye for now and have an amazing evening.